This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You're greatly appreciated. Come on in, make yourself at home. You know the routine. This channel is for movie lovers of all types. Doesn't matter what your format is. It can be VHS, Betamax, DVD, 3D, 4K. Doesn't matter. You guys are all welcome here. Same with the format. Documentaries, drama, sci-fi, action. All you guys are welcome. For this week's video, it's a collection video. And because it's spring break, it's the end of spring break. At least it was my son's spring break here in Florida. I wanted to talk about spring break movies. I wanted to do a top 10 of the best spring break movies, though, but when I start researching it, I start Googling movies of a particular subgenre, such as spring breaks. I start getting crazy titles like Animal House, Road Trip, Wild Hogs, Zola, Girls Trip, and none of those movies were about spring break per se. They might have had a spring break feel to them, or maybe they mentioned it in passing. I really don't recall, but those really weren't spring break movies. So I can only come up with 6 out of my own collection. But these are 6 really good spring break movies. Gives you that feel like you were back in college or back in your 20s. So without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. Back in the Black Cave, back in the Black Cave. We are back in the motherfucking Black Cave. I'm going to kick it off with my number 6 pick. My number 6 pick, this is the 1987, yeah, it's been a while, 1987 comedy, Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. This was directed by Joe Roth, produced by Peter Bart, written by Tim Metcalf. This stars Robert Carradine, Curtis Armstrong, Larry B. Scott, Timothy Busfield, Courtney Thorne Smith. The plot behind this: the members of the Lambda fraternity travel to Fort Lauderdale for a fraternity conference. They have to beat off the attacks of the rival frat, the Alphas, if they want to maintain their self-respect, and of course, if they want to get anywhere with the pretty girls. And this is a 20th Century Fox release, and this is just really kind of in the vein of 80s raunchy comedies such as Porky's, Hard Bodies, just a lot of topless girls, a lot of drinking, just a lot of silliness. So this actually was a pretty popular franchise, enough to have 4 different movies. One of the drawbacks, I think, for the movie was for Larry B. Scott. He was very popular prior to this movie. He was a child actor. It seemed like after The Revenge of the Nerds, you just didn't see him. I'm not even sure the guy's still alive now. So I think this might have ruined his career. But other than that, very funny, raunchy 80s spring break comedy. So my number 6 pick, Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. My number 5 pick is the 1983 adult comedy romance, Spring Break. This is directed by Sean S. Cunningham, directed and produced by Sean S. Cunningham, written by David Smillow. This stars David Nell, Peter Lang, Paul Land, Steve Bassett, and Jane Modine. And I don't know if these guys are still acting or not. Names really don't sound familiar to me. But the plot behind this: 2 sets of 2 college guys spend a spring break together in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There they have lots of fun out in the sun trying to get women. And this is just another raunchy 80s movie. A lot of topless females, a lot of unprotected sex, beer, alcohol, the whole 9. So not a phenomenal plot line. And I don't know if any of these actors went anywhere after this Spring Break. And it's in the same vein of private resort, hard bodies. Perfect, not so much though. But again, just kind of 80s typical raunchy comedy, spring break comedy. So number 5 pick, Spring Break. My number 4 pick is the 2010 comedy horror Piranha 3D. This was directed and produced by Alexandra Aja, written by Peter Goldfinger. This stars Richard Dreyfuss, Ving Rhames, Elizabeth Shue, Christopher Lloyd, Eli Roth, Jerry O'Connell, Steve R. McQueen. The plot behind this: each year, the population of Sleepy Lake, Victoria, Arizona explodes from 5,000 to 50,000 residents for the annual spring break celebration. But then an earthquake opens an underwater chasm, releasing an enormous swarm of ancient piranha that have been dormant for thousands of years. Now with a taste of human flesh, this year there's something more to worry about than the usual hangovers and complaints from locals. A new type of terror is about to cut loose on Lake Victoria. And this has a nice combination of little raunchy comedy from the 80s, even though it's a 2010 movie. It has some relatively big names on there: Richard Dreyfuss, Ving Rhames, Elizabeth Shue, Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future and Taxi, Eli Roth. And they use Richard Dreyfuss, I think, as a kind of a nod, a wink and a nod to the Jaws movie, so it kind of a little bit of credibility to it, though, but also kind of a dark horror or dark comedy type of horror, though. So you have the spring break effect, you have the piranhas eating people up, and the 3D is actually pretty decent for being this kind of a movie. So 3D looks pretty decent underwater and do a great job of having the piranhas. I believe they even have a few pop-outs if I remember correctly. So my number 4 pick for spring breaks, and this is an Alliance release, Alliance Dimension release. My number 654 pick, Piranha 3D. My number 4 pick is the 2014 action comedy crime movie, 22 Jump Street. This was directed by Phil Lord, produced by Will Allegra, written by Michael Bacall. This stars Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum, Peter Stormare, Wyatt Russell, Amber Stevens, Ice Cube, Keith and Kenneth Lucas. The plot behind this: after making their way through high school twice, big changes are in store for the officers Schmidt and Janko when they go deep undercover at a local college. But when Janko meets a kindred spirit on the football team and Schmidt infiltrates the bohemian art major scene, they begin to question their partnership. Now they don't just have to crack the case, if they have to figure out if they can have a mature relationship. If these two overgrown adolescents can grow from freshmen into real men, college might be the best thing that ever happened to them. And very funny buddy cop movie. Chatham and Jonah Hill have great chemistry together. Love Ice Cube in there. It's a cute twist on the original television show 22 Jump Street with Johnny Depp, Dom DeLuise's son, I can't think of his name right now. Very funny movie. Great spring break effect. And again, this is the second of this is a sequel to the 21 Jump Street. So if you like spring break, you like Chatham, you like Jonah Hill, definitely check out 22 Jump Street. And this is a Sony release, 22 Jump Street. My number 2 pick is the 2016 adventure comedy drama, Dirty Grandpa. This was directed by Dan Mazer, produced by Jason Barrett, written by John Phillips. This stars Robert De Niro, Zac Efron, Zoe Deutsch, Aubrey Plaza, and Jason Mantzoukas. I probably killed the guy's last name. The plot behind this: Jason Kelly is 1 week away from marrying his boss's uber-controlling daughter, putting him on the fast track for a partnership at the law firm. However, when the straight-laced Jason is tricked into driving his foul-mouthed grandfather Dick to Daytona for spring break, his pending nuptials are suddenly in jeopardy. Between riotous frat parties, bar fights, and an epic night of karaoke, Dick is on a quest to live his life to the fullest and bring Jason along for the ride. And I was actually surprised on how funny this is. I just watched this. It's a Lionsgate release. And Zac Efron, he was okay. He's a straight guy, and De Niro was a funny guy. De Niro was hilarious in this. This is why I love De Niro as an actor. He can do anything from serious roles to very silly roles or kind of off-color roles. He was fantastic in this. Love the movie. Super funny. Just an example of one of the lines. It's just like, are you like a Terminator cock blocker? Did you come from the future just to cock block me? His line just like that. You haven't seen this, definitely check it out. Still have the raunchiness from the 80s feel though, but much updated humor, better plot line, and just an overall solid comedy. So my number 2 pick, De Niro, Efron, Dirty Grandpa, unrated. And my number 1 spring break movie is the 2012 comedy crime drama Spring Breakers. This was directed and written by Harmony Korine, produced by Charles Marie Anthonioz. This stars James Franco, Selena Gomez, Vanessa Ann Hudgens, Ashley Benson, and Rachel Corrine. The plot behind this: after 4 college girls somehow raise the money for their spring break in Florida, they get estranged with a weird dude and his own criminal agenda. And again, another movie I just watched. Did not anticipate on liking this as much as I did. It's a Lionsgate release. Part of the appeal is in Florida. They drive through Tampa, so I'm watching. It's like, oh, they're on I-4. Oh, I know that trailer says Jesus Saves. I'm like, yeah, they're right down the street from Hillsborough. So I'm watching this. I'm not a big fan of James Franco, Vanessa Hudgens, Selena Gomez. I don't dislike them. I'm just rather indifferent. But they all did amazing jobs in this movie. Great job. James Franco, I have to give him props. He plays this white rapper from St. Pete with gold teeth and braids in his hair. And this is not a stretch. I live in Tampa. I see these guys. I can recall driving in my car. I'm bumping, just in a nostalgic move, I'm bumping Duran Duran, stop at a stoplight. I'm hearing some guy next to me, heavy bass, bumping some Gucci Mane. It's a white dude with gold teeth. He looks at me like I'm crazy. I look at him like he's crazy. And we just kind of acknowledge each other like, yeah, whatever. It's that kind of vibe in Tampa. So they definitely captured the feel of Tampa, the craziness of it. And the storyline is not what I expected. Great storyline, great ending, great twist of a plot. So very fun movie. If you haven't seen this, definitely check it out, Spring Breakers. And this is, again, a Lionsgate release. And these are my best spring break movies of all times. If you made it this far in the video, smash a like. Give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And if there's a spring breaking movie here, if there's a spring break movie that's your favorite, please add in the comments. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone, please be safe. Deuces.